All right, we're live. Woo! All right, so I guess we're live. Let me just open my live stream here so I can follow up. Just check it out. A couple more minutes to start.
No, I was practicing. I thought we were gonna play an exhibition game, so I made like.
I guess we're live. Let me just open live stream here so I can. So people can hear us. Yeah, it was here just for testing out. Let me just start this party started. So welcome everybody that are on the live stream to the finals of the PPS Hearthstone tournament. I'd like to introduce you guys Trak, who will be our commentator for today, and we're also expecting Josh. He should be joining anytime soon.
Hi guys, Trak, Lord. I also work for Google, and thank you very much, Daniel, for inviting me. My friend and colleague Josh and I casted the Google tournament, so we're looking forward to this format as well.
All right, awesome. We are here in Simon's Cat room here in the second floor of the 900. If anyone wants to join, you won't be able to hear the comments, but you'll be able to see the tense face of our contestants today. And let's just wait a bit more time so while they get ready here. And maybe you guys can talk a little bit about yourself.
Hey.
Oh, and you have also Josh. So Josh, welcome to the finals.
Hello. Hey, thanks for having us.
All right, guys. So you guys can take from here, and we're going to have them joining anytime now. I'm going to start spectating here so people on the live stream can see what's going on as well.
Excellent.
All right. So just so you guys know, they decided both of them to bend each other's wrists, so you can start the conversation from there. All right.
All right. Let me know when we're live.
We are live.
We're live. Dude.
Oh, we're live now. Ooh, exciting.
Yes.
I'm actually very surprised that both of them banned Priest. I think if I were in their position, I probably would have banned Mage, considering the basic cards in Mage. You know, you start off with two really, really awesome forms of removal, plus cards like Polymorph and like other less commonly used removal like Arcane Explosion. That's very strange to me. I think Jay hates Priest just in general, so that doesn't surprise me. But still, what do you think about that? Missing the chance to get rid of all that removal.
You know, I totally agree with you. I remember when I was looking at these decks, I said the warrior deck and the shaman deck are basically all creatures. The priest decks are, again, mostly just more minions. And then the mage decks have this whole other angle. They've got the flame strike angle, they've got the fireball angle, so they can kind of bait your opponent into traps. It gives you the ability to play a very tricky game. And I guess it makes sense that they're worried about, I don't know, healing or something. But I would have been very scared of the mages.
Well, so it looks like the match is already underway.
Oh, I can't see it. Can you see it?
Oh well, I'm actually on the client spectating.
Oh man. All right. Well then, I'm gonna duck out for a moment. Am I even friends with these guys?
You're friends with Jay, and then you can friend Playerino.
My magic.
I'm gonna have to duck out for a moment, and I'll be back in just a second.
No problem. I'll continue anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Jay and Daniel up against each other. So far, leading off of that conversation that Josh and I were just having, they went mage and mage. Both of them led with mage. So you can see there, if you're not spectating the game, you can see Jay's actually got a nice handful of removal, especially early game. He's got the Frostbolt, Arcane Missiles to dispatch with any 1/1s, and then he's got a nice kind of curving into either Water Elemental or Gnomish Inventor with that card draw, or maybe control the board a little bit. Daniel's hand, on the other hand, is a little bit awkward. He's still got the removal, he's still got the Frostbolt, but he's got some 3-drops that may end up bogging up his hand a little bit. I think, and these guys are playing extremely fast. Clearly familiar with using these basic cards. So Daniel's still got coin on a 3 curve. At this point on an empty board, I might drop that, you're against Mage, drop the Acidic Swamp Ooze, and then maybe coin, no, I guess not. Maybe just coin out that Sengen and pass, to which Jay will likely also counter with the Sengen, maybe a Water Elemental. But it looks like Daniel might just play on curve, may drop that Iron for Grizzly. I don't know. It's almost like playing Constructed Arena. I think, because you're not entirely sure what your opponent is going to pick out of these kind of less commonly played cards, and he does go with the Iron for Grizzly, get a little bit of defense in there. Jay here, I think he's still going to play on curve. I think I'd probably drop the Water Elemental. Yep, that's he's going to go ahead. Drop the Water Elemental. It trades really nicely with the Iron for Grizzly. It's probably going to force Daniel to use that Frostbolt, as it were. So see what he goes with. I mean, not too many other options. He could drop that Sengen, go face.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, Josh. Welcome back.
Hey. Yeah, oh man.
What to do?
Sorry, you continue. I just wanted to
No, it's
jumping in.
talking to myself in an empty room, right? I'm thinking here that Daniel probably should get rid of that Water Elemental, but he also has the option of dropping that Sengen and just kind of playing the defensive route. Oh, well, looks like he is going to get rid of that Water Elemental, or maybe he's going to.
We must
these guys are flipping back and forth between decisions very quickly.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what Daniel's plan is here, right? It looks like he just wants to get as many guys in board as possible, and build up some pressure. Or he just wants to trade.
Yeah, or he passes? Well, what just happened there?
He killed the Water Elemental.
Oh, so I bugged out. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Jay here is probably... Yeah, Jay's looking at that Arcane Intellect, and there it goes. So Jay's thinking right now, I'm going to win this game by drawing a bunch more cards than him, forcing him to use his creatures suboptimally, and then beating him with Flame Strike.
Yeah, which is funny because they're more or less playing the same exact deck. They just started with 2 completely different hands.
Yeah, I think they're actually playing the same 30 cards, right?
Are they playing the exact same 30 cards?
I believe so. Their priest deck was off by 1 or 2. I think the mage decks were identical.
Wow.
If not the same 30, then very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a tough spot for Daniel. With 5 mana, his hero power doesn't really do anything. He kind of needs to advance his board because he's got he doesn't have enough card draw to match what Jay's got going on. Well, he's going to try and win that game anyway.
Well, the interesting thing is, I think they're polymorph's a nice pickup. I think they're both looking at the kind of the mana clock, right? Like 2 turns until either of us flame strikes.
Right.
Because it's just guaranteed. It's not one of those times where you're in ladder or a tournament where did he bring flame strike? This is kind of one of those times where he definitely brought flame strike. And you look at Daniel's hand, he's got a couple minions that can survive, but nothing that he can play all in the same turn.
Yeah, and I absolutely love Jay's decision here to play the little
Gnomish Inventor?
Gnomish Inventor, yeah, because it means that Daniel now basically can't really advance his board in a way that plays around Flame Strike. He can't just play a bunch more guys or try and trade up. He has to make some awkward play to trade his real card, his 3/2 for a 2/4.
Yeah, and at 6 mana, he could drop the Boulder Fist, and he actually would be in a pretty good situation.
Yeah, it's an okay situation, but again, it means that Flame Strike is really good against him. Yeah, so this is pretty tough. So he's opting to play his own Notion Inventor, and I like this play because this makes sense with his Arcane Intellect last turn. It means he's just trying to draw as many cards. Eventually, by getting enough value, he's going to try and push Jay out of this game. It's a difficult plan though because Jay just has more cards than he does.
Yeah. Is there any logic here to try and tempt a Flame Strike to either, you know, maybe check to see if your opponent has actually had it in the first 15 cards, or the other kind of strategies I know a lot of players will commonly use to basically bait out a Flame Strike to make sure that player just doesn't have a turn.
The sun well.
You with 7 mana, you basically you clear your opponent's board, but you pass initiative as well.
Yeah, and I think that is a good play if you have a follow-up to it, or if you have a couple of guys that survive that you can then buff afterwards. But Daniel doesn't really have either of those options right here, so he can't really go for the beta Flame Strike play. He just needs to try and either hope Jay doesn't have it, or just make a set of plays where the Flame Strikes are no longer really worth a lot.
He's going to go ahead and fireball that Ghost of the Hungry Dragon. 5/6 kill win.
Yeah, and so
listeners, that was a reference to the upcoming Blackrock Mountain set where there's going to be a 4-mana minion that's 5/6, which will be called Hungry Dragon, and will most likely destroy the metagame.
I actually don't think that card's good, but that's a separate discussion.
Yeah, I know. I have similar feelings, but it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, people will definitely be trying it. Yeah, so Jay's feeling right here is, all right, if you don't want to play a bunch of guys on the board, that's fine. I'll just play a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And that's going to be tricky for Daniel to deal with because he doesn't have any creatures that can or any minions that can really proactively deal with these threats. He just needs to deploy a bunch of threats of his own, and that's just going to play right into Jay's Flame Strikes.
Yeah, and yes, Flame Strikes, plural. Jay's managed to draw both of them. Yeah, whereas Daniel's still searching, and it's kind of really unfortunate after an Arcane Intellect, and are we on the second Gnomish Inventor of Daniel's that he still hasn't found the Flame Strike? He found the other 2 7-mana cards in his deck. He found both War Golems, but it looks so we're gonna have the Barrier Fist come out. Which, to me, is okay, just because it may or may not force a Flame Strike, but then again, Jay is also holding Fireball. He can very easily Fireball Ping. Not sure about hero powering the Gnomish. I think you definitely hero power the Sengen to bluff Flame Strike, but that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So now Jay can be pretty sure that Daniel doesn't have a Flame Strike, which sets up kind of an interesting decision. Because once you know that your opponent doesn't have it, you could play, say, another Sengen.
Yeah.
You could play all sorts of different things.
I wonder.
Looks like he is going to Flame Strike and trade.
Yep. Does any spell it?
Yeah, I'm still confused about hero powering the Gnomish. I'm trying to figure out what Daniel was trying to set up there. Do you have any insight into that?
No, I really don't, actually. I'm a little bit confused as well. I definitely would have hero powered the Shieldmaster there.
Yeah, I think even just, if anything, because once you ping the Gnomish, you know that it's going to get traded. You know, like
right.
you don't trade a full health minion. If you can, you trade the one that is already on its way out. And I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it's, especially when you're playing a mage, you always want to kind of keep all of your enemies' minions at a similar level of health.
Yeah.
You want to keep them all in the same range.
Yeah, especially since both of these guys are running Arcane Explosion and Flame Strike. You know, it's very easy to have a 5 health board clear.
What to do?
Yeah, you can get a lot of value here. Yeah, so this is an interesting decision on Jay's part. Does he use his last Flame Strike to clear this mess? And he opts not to.
Yeah, and he keeps drawing into answers. I mean, basically at this point, his hand is full. Even if Daniel had 5 more cards in his hand, Jay would be able to dispatch with pretty much anything he played.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta be honest, I was thinking I would Flame Strike there, but if I knew I was gonna draw Frostbite and Polymorph, I would draw. Because those are just incredible draws here.
I don't mean, he does what was about 2 or 3 cards he just spends to clear that board, but I don't know. I'm wondering if Daniel dropping a War Golem and an Iron Fur, like that actually stands up pretty well. Maybe not the Iron Fur, but maybe just a War Golem hero power pass. It stands up to Flame Strike, unless he wants to Flame Strike trade. Jay's already used both Fireballs, right? I guess he could get Polymorph, but he's got a second one. So, I mean, I think Daniel could potentially come back, because if you have a handful of answers and there's nothing really good to use them on, I feel like you're just sitting with kind of that value question and extra cards in your hand.
Yeah, the question to me boils down to who's going to run out of cards first.
Yeah.
Because Daniel's got 5 cards now. Unless, is the game still continuing? I think mine have just froze.
Mine bugged out as well. I'm
right.
back in.
Yeah. Daniel's got 5. Jay's got 7, 8, something like that. So as long as Jay can just 1 for 1, eventually it's going to be 3 versus 0.
Yeah.
3 versus 0 is pretty different than 5 versus 8.
Looks like Jay's got 6 cards. Yeah, and Daniel's got, he had 6 cards. He's going to drop that Water Elemental and Softball Defense to finish that off. But Jay's sitting on 2 Polymorphs, so...
What a master.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is that at least, I don't know, I'm thinking, what do you think is a worse Polymorph target for the minions that you're playing? Water Elemental or War Golem? What would you rather have Polymorphed if you're Daniel?
So for me, I basically just want to polymorph whoever's got the most life.
Yeah.
It seems like these matchups are primarily determined by who runs out of life points first. And so if you can polymorph a War Golem, you're essentially up 6 points on that. It's almost like a fireball.
Yeah.
So that's really the decider for me. It's just who's the toughest.
And here's what I was talking about earlier with the polymorph and the low value minions. I mean, you're looking at this and like, do I really want to polymorph a 3/2 Bloodfen Raptor?
And the answer is clearly no.
The answer is definitely not. I feel maybe you. I mean, the thing is, you just saw a polymorph. You probably want to run out one of the War Golems.
Yeah.
You know that he has the second polymorph in his hand.
If I'm Daniel, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. But even if you suspected a second polymorph, your other play is really just Iron Fur plus Shattered Sunclear to make the Iron Fur a 4/4 and maybe 2 for 1, but he's just going to Flame Strike.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really tough when your opponent has polymorph and Flame Strike.
Yeah.
Because no matter what play you do, it's the wrong play. It feels like everything you do gets punished.
Yeah, it's just tough because they basically they drew into these decks a completely mirror like opposite world order. Jay drew into all of his heavy spells and removal in the early game, and Daniel drew into all of the minions and big beefy guys, and you can see which one is better based on the way the game is going, right? Because even if Jay spends all of his removal on what's left in Daniel's hand, he still has these big minions to come out on the board as a follow-up, and even if Daniel draws a Flame Strike, it's not going to do very much on an empty board against the Boulder Fist Ogre.
That's absolutely true, and I think that's why Daniel has played this game so conservatively, because he's trying to get at exactly what you're talking about, where he can play a Boulder Fist Ogre or a War Golem or something when Jay is out of removal. But unfortunately, that plan is just going to work a lot better for Jay's.
And that would have been a great, that Chillwind Yeti would have been a great Flame Strike if he could have drawn it.
Yeah, that would
be a great time to Flame Strike.
So now, this is a tough position for Daniel because he just has to run out the War Golem and pray. He does get a free Bloodman Raptor though, so there's that.
It's true.
It's not insignificant.
Yeah, but he's going to sheathify that War Golem.
Yeah. Where's the feed?
Oh, hello, Meg.
Hey, Meg. We're just actually casting. I'm spectating locally on the client.
Oh. Yeah, the YouTube link. So no one's streaming it?
I think Daniel's streaming it, but you are live and you're being recorded.
Woohoo! Alright, I'll also spectate it and shut up.
All right, thanks, Meg. Talk to you later.
Anyway, back to this game. Yeah, so this has actually gotten a little bit closer. Jay now just needs to make sure that he can maintain this lead. He's got, what is that, 16 life on the board. Flame Strike, well, would have been really good right there. But that was kind of Daniel's last chance to draw something to get him out of this. Trak, I think you're muted.
Whoops. Yeah. I was looking at this board, trying to think if there's any way he can strategically make it so that he has at least 2 life. But no, he can't.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Oh, Jay with a little PM there.
Oh man. JBM's new all over this guy who loves his DM.
He does enjoy the PM. Jay's a very enthusiastic Hearthstone player.
Yes.
So game 1 goes to Jay, Grumpy Puppy. And what do you think Daniel's going to come back with? What do you think? Oh, actually, he only has one choice.
Well, he's only got one choice, so.
Yeah. He only has. He brought the Warrior?
He did.
Okay.
The Warrior deck, I think, is actually pretty good against the Mage deck. Because it's just got a little more beef in it. It's just got some bigger creatures. So all he needs to make sure that he does is he gets a lot of value out of his guys, and that he doesn't get his weapons swamp oozed, and that he uses his hero power enough so that he doesn't get burned out. If he can manage to do those 3 things, he should be in pretty good shape here.
Yeah, and it's a nice. Not that we saw a lot of spells to face, but it is frustrating when you're the mage to be looking at a warrior with 10 or 12 extra life that you just have to waste fireballs and removal on to kind of break through that wall.
I've definitely been playing on the ladder and gone turn 2 hero power, turn 3 hero power, and mages just concede.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. I mean, if you're like one of those mid-range mages, you're looking at your most difficult matchup right there, and not getting easier. Or even a freeze mage, it's just there's a 50-50, but a lot of players just don't want to spend the next 35 minutes trying to figure out if they can take down that control warrior.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. So it looks like the hand of Daniel is pretty solid. He's got a 2-drop, a 3-drop, a 4-drop, and a little bit of removal.
Yeah, really good curve.
Jay needs 2 hit on this arcane missile. It's not the end of the world.
Well, and he doesn't, so.
Yeah, that was actually a little bit of a loose play.
Yeah.
Loose meaning in the poker term of loose. Because if he had actually hit the, if he hit Daniel twice, which is 50% to do, then he kind of has no way to deal with that the Bloodfin Raptor, where he could have just hero powered and then hero powered again the following turn.
Yeah, and especially now, I think right now I would still want that arcane missiles in my hand, because now you have to throw something out that either trades awkwardly or doesn't really keep you controlling the board. So right now,
and that's exactly what he ended up having to do. Whereas if he had the missiles there, it would have been great.
Yeah, take out that boar, maybe take a couple HP off the Razor Fen.
Yeah, that would have been a very strong turn. So now it looks like Daniel's in the driver's seat. He can do a lot of different things, but they're all good options. Yeah.
I think he might, I would say I'd probably just play on Curve here and go Yeti or Gnomish.
I would definitely go Yeti here. Because as against a mage, I just want to get a lot of pressure out before there was any chance to Flame Strike me.
That's interesting. Well, he's definitely getting the pressure, but I'm not sure that I agree with trading. I probably just would have gone face there, because the Gnomish really doesn't threaten much, I guess. Ooh.
Yeah, this is a little awkward, because now it's going to be pretty hard for Daniel to get through that Shield Master and get value with the rest of his turn.
Yeah.
he's probably going to have to trade everything except for one of his guys.
Yeah, one of the 3/2s is going to go away, unless he. What could you possibly shield block into on the basic card run?
What?
Is Slam basic?
Execute is basic.
Execute's basic. Okay, so he could draw into an execute, but I think it's a little soon, especially when you know that your opponent's deck has some, nasty big minions in it that are going to come down later, like Boulder Fist or War Golem.
Right. You don't want to be using execute on this guy, especially since it's only about an 8% chance of getting there. That's a pretty loose play. No Machine Inventor is an interesting choice though, because then you still get the chance to execute, and you also get another guy on board.
Yeah, it's true. It definitely is important in a better state than just, one of the 3/2s in hero power. I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, if he's going to clear the Sengen, he's not going to clear the Sengen.
It's just waiting. Ooh, waiting against a mage.
Ooh.
This man likes to live dangerously.
This is like one arcane explosion could ruin this guy's day. This room gets explored very easily.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Sengen is just going to get a little scarier.
Yeah. This problem is just getting worse. And this is really tough because now Jay's getting pretty close to Flamestrike.
Maybe he was setting up for the cleave. He's actually got a pretty good cleave right now.
He does have a pretty nice cleave right now.
He can cleave and trade the 1/1, and that's actually that puts him about even at card advantage, at least for actual cards. His hand's still a little bit low compared to to Jay, which is never really what you want when you're facing a mage.
But he's ahead on board, and that's what's really important.
Yeah.
Gets an axe.
Ooh, okay.
And so now he's just flush with good options. Axe is good, cleave is good. And now this is actually looking pretty nice.
Alright, in good faith. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so playing that cleave worked out really well for him, actually. Jay's in a bit of a tough spot here. He needs to... Well, okay, he's going to kill everything. I was going to say, he needs to try and end up in a position where he doesn't take too much damage, but also can set up for Flamestrike. But instead he decides, nope, don't need Flamestrike. Just going to Fireball, Frostbolt.
Well, I think he also realizes since these decks are taken from the same, the basic card pool, that there aren't too many minions that are outside of Flamestrike range. Like too many good minions that people play. Yeah. Like for instance, Gnomish Inventor, really solid basic minion, but very vulnerable to Flamestrike.
Yeah, I wonder if he was playing around Stormwind Champion there, because Stormwind Champion would have been really strong here.
That's a good point. Does Daniel run Stormwind?
He does have a Stormwind Champion.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been pretty nice there.
What now?
Then it puts the Yeti far out of Flamestrike range. But anyway, that's not what ended up happening. So now Daniel's choice is, do I play a War Axe, which plays around Flamestrike? Do I just say, he doesn't have it, play the Raptor? Or do I use my Hero Power, which kind of doesn't do anything?
I am tempted to bait out Flamestrike at this point, especially with the Yeti in my hand. And I probably would not play the Axe because it's just too easy that they had the option to pick the Swampers.
Yeah, I think I would have just Hero Powered as well. You're not going to win this game by some huge damage burst, so you need to make sure you get all the value out of your cards you can.
Yeah, and here's a... And this is probably why I would have played a second minion, because... that's not a bad draw with the Stormpike Commando.
Yeah, the axe is pretty good here.
Yeah.
This is part of the reason, though, why I would have just banned Mage, because this is a tough situation, right? If you play one guy every turn, you're going to lose to Arcane Intellect, because Jay will just draw more cards. And if you play 3 guys in a turn, you're going to get Flamestriked and lose.
I'm going to just... I'd love to hear Jay's... I only say Jay because I've played with Jay. I know Jay a little bit better. I haven't ever played with Daniel, but I just really want to ask Jay, why didn't you ban Mage?
Yeah. Maybe he thinks his Priest deck is really good against Mage.
Maybe Basic Priest has a big advantage because of the insane card draw.
Yeah, and Mind Control.
Yeah, and Mind Control, of course. But I mean, I still...
Yeah, no, I'm on board. I would have been Mage too.
Just for the Hero Power's ability to control the board, I would have... And it's just like, it makes... I mean, yeah, I guess it costs 2 mana every turn, but the way that... Like, look at this right now. Now, Jay can kill the Gnomish Inventor for free. Like that's what Mage does.
Yeah. Yeah, and the worse the cards are, the better the hero powers are. So all these cards are kind of mediocre. I mean, you're playing Bloodfin Raptor, right?
Yeah, they're vanilla basic cards.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough. Now Daniel can attack with his weapon.
Yeah.
He's in a rough spot.
Wait, how did he freeze? Because he traded into yeah.
I think if you're Daniel at this point, you're just going to need to play into Flame Strike.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it, which is why it would have been nice earlier, to your point, to try and bait it out.
Yeah, and I think if you drop that Razor Fen, you're probably going to get played into it. But
yeah.
I mean, you could Stormpike Commando pick up the Raptor.
Yeah, but what else are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
You can't just wait around forever.
Well, it's just whatever happens. Hopefully, it gets rid of. He really needs to draw that Execute, get rid of that Water Elemental because that weapon is doing no good to him just sitting there.
Yeah, that Water Elemental is really. So this is a slight mistake on Daniel's part. You always want to play your card draw first.
Yeah.
Because you might draw something that gives you.
He appears to be aware of that. Now he's in kind of a very interesting spot. Although he did draw into the Boulder Fist, which is a pretty good minion to have at this point.
Definitely one of his better cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it threatens the Water Elemental enough so that Jay's going to have to consider whether he wants to keep freezing the weapon or start trading and remove the big guy.
Yeah. And
we must cleanse the Sunwell.
That's actually pretty aggressive.
Yeah. But hey, you know that they're not running Big Game Hunter, so.
I guess they're also. Oh man, here comes the Swamp Ooze. Yeah, so Jay, even though he's very excited about the Swamp Ooze, he still plays the Arcane Intellect first.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, that hurts though.
Man. Oh jeez. Yeah, this is gonna be really bad.
That's one of those things where the weapons for me, even in ladder, even when I don't necessarily know if they've teched in anti-weapon cards, I almost never leave a weapon sitting without using it. The one example may be like the Eagle Horn Bow and Hunter when you have secrets or whatever, but you lose so much tempo and so much value when your weapon gets taken from you like that.
Yeah, it's a sad day.
At least it was just an axe, and basically it's a 2 mana 3 attack, 3 attack, so it kind of evens out with the ooze, especially if you could use one of the charges. But
yeah, so Arcanite Reaper actually is a live draw here. Well, didn't get it, but Arcanite Reaper could have gotten back into this game.
Yeah, because
it doesn't die to Flame Strike. 7/6 is still around, and the ooze has now been used.
I feel like you have to Korkron remove something at this point. You got to run him out and get rid of one of these.
That's the problem. I think, frankly, if I'm Daniel, I just assume that he doesn't have second Flame Strike and just send my guys an attack. Just go send everything at the face. If he's got a Flame Strike, you lose. And if he doesn't have a Flame Strike, he's going to have to make a lot of bad trades. And he's going to be at very low health.
Well, so what if you Korkron, take out the Water Elemental, you take out the Yeti. I mean, I guess, yeah, he's not going to use Flame Strike then because you're only going to have a 7/2 on board, and he's just going to trade the Swamp Ooze into it and play the Boulder Fist.
Right. Yeah, I don't think there's really any way Daniel can win this game, but he's definitely going to lose if he tries to do some fancy trading here because he's just going to lose on board.
Yeah, but if he plays anything, if he plays his hand, he's going to lose too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, at least if he played his hand, he could have won in the event of Chase.
Yeah. Chase is really good at drawing that Flame Strike.
Chase is just excellent. Yeah. Jay's incredibly good at drawing cards.
We're only making fun of Jay because we know. Jay's actually a very determined and dedicated Hearthstone player.
He is. He's one of the better players at Google too.
Yeah. I think he's trying to hit Legend this season.
I believe he has hit Legend once. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's already at rank 7, which is pretty good for less than halfway through the month. I kind of I got to the point where I hit like 12 or 11 or something, and then it took me 2 or 3 days playing a couple games a day to get out of that, and I just got bored, and now I'm back to playing Arena.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure that I've played. I have no idea what my rank is this season.
Well, you hit rank 1 last season, right?
I did. Then the metagame shifted, and I didn't feel like building a new deck.
There's that Execute. Man.
Yeah, Execute's not bad here.
And he hasn't... Like, his board isn't bad for just having been Flame Strike, but I think you definitely execute that Water Elemental, right? Or, I mean...
No question.
Yeah.
The problem with this board is that what is Daniel hoping to draw here?
Maybe an Arcanite?
Yeah, it doesn't really get him back in it, though. He's not going to be...
That's very, very interesting. Maybe he just knows that there's something big coming, but the thing is, like, how do you... You still have to trade your minion in to activate the Execute, so...
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be determined by who ends up with the last card. That's the way this game's going to end. And
pretty interesting that Jay just goes face.
Yeah, Jay's just like, I don't even care. Whatever. I'm so far ahead. I could just smash you with impunity.
Yeah, just execute the Boulder Fist feels not great.
It's not great.
Yeah. Funny thing though is, if Jay had just traded, he would be swinging for 10 damage right now, with impunity.
Yeah, but anyway, this is exactly what I was talking about. Whoever ends up with the last card, he wins. And it's 3-0 right now. So
yeah, because there's no basic board clear here that the warrior can draw into. Yeah, second ooze isn't going to do it.
No. Yeah, he's not quite dead, but I don't know how he's going to get this.
Yeah, I mean, and now even if he's going to get 2 cards this turn, the Gnomish Inventor,
Fire Roll, there we
That's
go.
lethal, right? Is that lethal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lethal.
It is.
And he's spamming.
Oh, well.
Come on, Jay.
Yeah. Seriously, man.
Finish him. Come on. Alright.
Why you gotta spam like that?
Alright, well, that's final. Grumpy Puppy.
Can you guys hear us?
I can.
I can hear you.
All right, so we have, I'd like to thank our players here, Daniel and Jay, and thank you very much, guys, Josh and Trak, for casting this game for us. I hope you guys on live stream enjoyed, and thanks for everybody to play this tournament. It was a lot of fun. This will be available for people to watch later as VOD. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, everybody.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Daniel, for having us there, and congratulations to Jay for his win.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.